You're about to learn how generative AI can really transform your work in just 5 simple steps. No computer science degree required. This is all about practical, everyday skills that everybody can master. This is an incredible accessibility tool that I've done some tweaks to, and it really helps if you're dyslexic like I am. It's essentially a cross-platform, spicy AI autocorrect that allows you to use generative AI as easily as pressing Ctrl V, but with some incredibly useful additional features. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up an OpenAI API account. So I need to essentially create a login for the OpenAI API. I'll leave the link in the description. And once you log in the first time, what it's going to do is it's going to ask you, hey, what do you want to be able to set your organization name as? What describes your technical capability? And then essentially you're going to set up your organization ready for being able to do these payments. So I'm going to go very technical and create organization. Then you can invite any team members you want, but we're going to skip this step for now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give our API, we're going to create an API key. We need to give it a name. So just give it something memorable that you'll be able to look through and be able to go, that's the API key that relates to X, Y, and Z. And then we're going to generate that API key. Now I need you to copy that API key and store it somewhere safe. I'm going to put it in a notepad document. And then what I'm going to be able to do is come back to that later. Once you've seen it once, you won't necessarily be able to go back to it again. So we're going to save our API key. I'm going to also show you how to do this when we're going through the dashboard to be able to set up an API key, so you see both ways of being able to do it. What we're going to need to do is put some credits on our account. Utilizing generative AI costs about 1/10 of a cent per inquiry, so it's not very expensive to do, so we just want to put some credit on there. It does have an expense attached to it, but it is quite nominal. Great, so I've set my account, I've put my credits on it. Now the other way we can set up an API key is we can go to that option in the top right hand corner called dashboard, go down to where it says API keys and go create our API key, and then same as before, we give it a name that we can use to remember it. And then create API key. Great, now we've done that, I'm going to add that to my notepad document so we have both keys saved. But you'll only need one key to be able to do this project. Now the next thing we're going to do is download autohotkey. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So all you'll need to be able to do is download it. It's a free application. You want to download version 2 and you want to install it onto your computer. So once you've gone through the installation, I want you to go to the GitHub page for this project. What you'll be able to see in there is all the files we need, but also it has a step-by-step guide and tutorial to be able to help you through as well. So this will be able to help you on your next steps of the project. So at the top of the project, you're going to see something that says code, and I want you to be able to click on the downward arrow of that, and then we are going to download the zip for this project. And what I would do is I would save this into your download files initially, and then we're going to extract it and extract that file to your autohotkey, which has just been set up through your installation of autohotkey. Now you'll be able to see that there's a new folder in autohotkey that contains all of the information that we need for this project. So I want you to open that folder. I want you to go to where it says AI tools and double click on that script. What should happen after that is you're going to get a pop-up window and it's going to ask you for the OpenAI API key that you want to be able to use for this project. Now that's going to run the script and it's going to run in our tray. So you should already be able to do the shortcut keys that we were talking about earlier, like Ctrl-Shift-J and Ctrl-Shift-K. So now what I'm going to do is bring up our Word document. You can see that I've got some text that's spelled wrong in there. What I'm going to do is highlight that text, press Ctrl-Shift-J, and it's going to use generative AI to do an automatic spell check on it. And you can see that it's changed that text to the right spelling. So now what we're going to do is bring up the menu to be able to select from a range of AI tools that we can utilize as part of our AI hotkey. So you can see that I've created a thread here that's pretty wordy. It needs simplifying. All I need to do is go onto it, press Ctrl, Shift, and K with the text highlighted, and I'm going to scroll to where it says simplify this text, and that's going to change the text into something that's a lot simpler and easy to understand. So now we want to add it to our startup menu. So the first thing that we need to do is create a shortcut for this application. So if you right click on AI tools, and that will bring up a secondary menu, then what you're going to want to do is go to where it says show more options. And if you click on that, it'll bring up another menu. And on that menu, it says create a shortcut. And we're just going to create a shortcut in the folder that we're in at the moment. So now what I need you to do is hold your Windows and your R button, and that's going to open up the run menu. And then I want you to put shell :startup, and that's going to open up our startup folder. Now our very final step of this project is to drag the shortcut that we created in the folder earlier, and we need to drag that into our startup menu. And that means that as soon as our computer loads up, it's going to load this script. And just like that, you're harnessing the power of generative AI to simplify your work and boost your productivity. You can also join us at the Metropolitan Academy, which is a platform that I am launching at the beginning of next year. The whole purpose is to help provide people with practical AI skills in order to make AI accessible for everyone. Let's build a future together, one practical step at a time.